this thick, humid air tonight. Festive cap to a holiday football weekend. Doak Campbell Stadium, as it should be, lit up and loud. And living legends from both programs here to celebrate this ACC opener. There's so many questions on opening night for Virginia Tech. There are fresh faces all over the roster stepping in to fill roles they haven't played before. How will they hold up in this hostile setting? The Seminoles and the Hokies eager to prove they are back in the championship mix. ACC cross-division collision here on Labor Day night. And welcome, Chris Fowler, along with the Iron Man, Kirk Herbstreit. 3 games in 5 days. Happier with us. We expect a closer game than we had down the road in Orlando. Kirk, this is fun. You got Bowden and Frank Beamer here. Yeah. You've got a rare collision between these teams that haven't met in 6 years and only played 4 previous times in the regular season. You got Willie Taggart, who was hired 200 days ago. Busy days. We begin to find out tonight if all that work he's done will pay immediate dividends for Florida State.
Well, the team that he inherited, what he witnessed early was that he needed to do some things away from the practice field. Try to bring them together, bring the intangibles, make this a strong bond. Tonight we find out whether or not it worked. What helped him was that he inherited this quarterback, DeAndre Francois, who you and I had last year this same weekend and got hurt against Alabama. Has worked very hard. We'll talk about that throughout the broadcast. The difference is now with DeAndre coming back to play, it's a new system. It's an up-tempo system. Think back to those days at South Florida with Willie Taggart, scoring a lot of points with Quentin Flowers. DeAndre Francois is now running that offense up-tempo, very different from what he did with Jimbo Fisher. I'm excited to see how he handles that tempo and the multiple formations.
He might be emotional. He's waded through a tough, long rehab to be here tonight. He's got some great running backs to work with. Bud Foster, on the other hand, has never had a less experienced group returning on defense. There's no more Edmonds brothers. They were gone in the first round last year. How are these new guys going to hold up and learn on the fly in this environment?
They're going to have to rely on some veterans. They've got a handful of veterans that have been around and played in a lot of football games, but you're right, there's youth everywhere. 2 of the guys, it starts really up front. Ricky Walker's played a lot of football. He's wearing the famous jersey 25, DeAndre Frank Beamer. You can see also that Reggie Floyd, the safety, as a veteran, his communication will be important. Bud Foster, you just heard Joey Galloway and the guys talking about it. He is an in-your-face, aggressive, blitz kind of guy. It's in his DNA. 8 guys at the line of scrimmage. How much will he have to pull back with all that youth in the secondary, especially at corner?
They leaned on a strong defense last year, but Justin Fuente's offense with Josh Jackson at quarterback may need to score a bunch of points this year, including tonight.
You know, watching that LSU game reminded me how much emotion and being doubted can bring college football teams together. Virginia Tech, to me, we'll see who wins the game, but I sense being around them, they feel disrespected and doubted as much as LSU did last night.
Osceola set to christen the season. As the Hokies are prepared to enter this cauldron of noise. Lots of folks dressed in black to mimic the all-black uniforms the Noles are wearing tonight. Tech's first visit here in a decade. They are revved up and ready for the beginning of the Willie Taggart era. Florida State and Virginia Tech under the lights in Doak Campbell. Frank Beamer and Bobby Bowden, they met on the sport's biggest stage in a championship game and a couple of ACC championship games. It's been old home week, a reunion for Bowden with his past players who are here tonight. Meanwhile, the man taking over this program is with Maria Taylor. Hi, Maria.
Yes, Chris. And Willie, you have been a fan of Florida State football since you were a kid, and you cherish this legacy. Now it's the beginning of the Willie Taggart era. How would you describe this moment?
So surreal, you know, being in a place you always wanted to be, and you see it on TV all the time, guys running out. You see Osceola run out, and you finally hear you on that side. It's a dream come true.
And it's a dream come true for your quarterback as well after a season-ending injury a year ago. He said he might cry when he runs out. How do you think he will respond in this atmosphere?
Well, I think he's ready to roll. He had a great week of practice, and he's worked his tail off to get back to this point. I'm excited to see him play.
All right, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
So he's had an opportunity to come back and to the state of Florida where he grew up, and he's at his dream job. And Justin Fuente was on the field before the game with you, Chris. Had a chance to talk to Frank Beamer, who I always love seeing, and he just talked on and on about how impressed he's been with Justin Fuente taking over in his 3rd year now, and how proud he is to see the direction of the program.
And his quarterback, Josh Jackson, they've counted on off-season improvement from him. He was good as a freshman. They expect him to take a big step forward this year. Seminoles won the toss and deferred, so they will kick off, and we'll see the Hokies offense led by Jackson in a few minutes. Florida State kickoff team is playing the Swag Surf song, and you'll see him sway back and forth. Like the all black with the garnet matte finish helmets.
I'm all right. I love the traditional Florida State uni myself, but they get fired up to wear it. That's for sure.
The Noles sidelines going berserk.
Look at him back here. I mean, look at this shot from up here. They're going crazy.
Logan Tyler, also the punter, will handle the kickoff duties. Caleb Farley, number 3, back deep. This will be fun tonight. Cross-division collision in the ACC. Tyler with a strong leg drives into the end zone, and Farley's going to take a knee. Wanted to charge out, and a teammate stopped him right there.
Yeah, first kick of the season, kickoff of the season. He wants to try to take that out. Well, you talked about Josh Jackson. Plays with great poise. We saw that demonstrated a year ago when he took over as a freshman. Tonight, as a sophomore, the coaches had said he really put in a lot of film work, and he's going to have some big play opportunities through the air because Harlan Barnett has come down as the defensive coordinator, very aggressive, plays a lot of man. As I said, play faster in your 2nd year, quicker decisions. All that film study he put in after 1 year starting, we'll see tonight how much that potentially pays off for him.
Deshaun McLeese is the tailback, but Jackson's going to throw in the first play. Hezekiah Grimsley gets to the edge, lowers the shoulder, and they move the 6 on the first play.
You have watched Michigan State over the years. You know how aggressive they are, how they are, and they play what's called a quarters coverage. Quarters coverage means 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and a lot of blitzing.
Check it. They spot him at the 32, so 2nd and 3. Got to the line quickly, but didn't snap it right away. Pitch to the far side. And again, it's Grimsley. They have one running wide right and wide left, and that is a first down across the 40.
What I was going to say is one of the areas that Michigan State and now Florida State is going to have to deal with how teams attack this defense is they go after the safeties that are in man coverage. And that means slot receivers and tight ends have opportunities to make plays.
And now it's McLeese. Quick burst up the middle, breaks tackles, so they give Jackson some comfortable throws early in this loud environment.
Yeah, absolutely. Just settle him in. Justin Fuente, who is a very, very good play caller, understands his quarterback, where his strengths are. And now that he has a quarterback that's been around and played in some tough games, you can already see Josh Jackson in these first 3 or 4 snaps making very quick decisions, just like Justin Fuente had hoped. Getting the ball out of his hands quickly.
McLeese has a crease, breaks a tackle, and rumbles inside the Florida State 45. And the Hokies putting together a great opening drive.
Now, for some reason, you saw a linebacker here move and slide to the outside. It actually happens to be right where Virginia Tech happens to be running. Adonis Thomas takes himself completely out of the play off of some kind of stem or some kind of aggressive action by moving and opened up for Virginia Tech for a big game.
They got 21. The sophomore who finished off last season with a big performance in the bowl game. Play action. Jackson under pressure, flipped it, tried to get it out to Dalton Keene, one of those versatile tight ends, but Brian Burns was in his face.
Well, Brian Burns, I think, will be one of the beneficiaries of this new defensive scheme because he has a chance now to just pin his ears back and go after the quarterback. That time, it was the first time, really, we've seen Josh Jackson not in rhythm. A little bit surprised by how quickly Big 99 got in there.
but not surprised he's made an impact. You expect a monster season from number 99.
Absolutely. In this new scheme, he went from read and react to upfield as fast as he can.
McLeese on 2nd and 10 again has a crease, stiff arm, and muscles down to the 22-yard line. Levante Taylor, Virginia native, drove him out, but it's a first down.
Well, this is nice patience here. He's going to work his way to the right. See the line? Nice block by the tight end. The sophomore Keene gets up to the 2nd level, and I'm impressed by McLeese. He's put 15 pounds on. Looks like a different back. He's always had really good acceleration to the 2nd level. Now you can see through that lifting in the lower body.
7th play of the drive, 3rd catch for Grimsley, who's knocked down after a short gain inside the 20. Puente comes out. You believe this is sort of a pre-scripted idea of what he wants to do early?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, right now they have 7 plays. 3 of them are runs, 4 of them are passes, and he's just mixed it up very well. Josh Jackson is 3 of 4, mixing up their formations, their personnel groupings. This Florida State defense trying to prepare for everything that they might see, but it's coming at them very, very fast. And right now, Virginia Tech has the upper hand.
Stephen Peoples is in the tailback, but it's a jet sweep. Handoff, and barreling down inside the 10-yard line is Terrius Wheatley. And yes, that is the son of Tyrone Wheatley, a freshman who could make an impact this year.
He sure can. Watch how easy they get to the edge. Look at all this running room. You can't give away the edge of the defense this easily. Tight end makes a block, and Peoples leading around had nobody to block. They're lucky that ball didn't get all the way to the end zone. They've got to do a better job for Harlan Barnett, the defensive coordinator, getting out on the edges and forcing these backs back into the middle where the linebacker flow is.
Peoples hammering after a short gain. Peoples and McLeese will rotate. He had a foot injury last year that cost him a whole bunch of playing time.
But against these spread attacks, this is where the game is won or lost. They move the ball around the field. Florida State is okay with giving up some yards, but you want to force field goals. And Virginia Tech knows when they get down here, they got to score touchdowns. Let's see what happens down in this red area.
2nd and 8. Jackson looped for the end zone. Jump ball, caught, touchdown. Damon Hazelton. And the Hokies, first drive of the season, 75 yards to the end zone to quiet this crowd.
Well, if you're a Virginia Tech fan, that's about as good of a drive to open up the game that you could hope for. They motion receiver in. They leave Hazelton isolated one-on-one against Taylor, who's much smaller. They list him at 5'10". I don't know if he's that tall, and he never locates the football. He just puts the ball in the air to the taller Hazelton at 6'2", and the Ball State transfer makes the easy touchdown.
He's a guy that sat out last year getting eligible. They expect a lot of plays just like that. Wow, how will the Seminoles and Francois answer? 5 passes, 4 completions by Jackson, including the touchdown. Dexter McLeese had a 21-yard run in that 75-yard opening drive.
Man, that's a clinic. 10 plays, 5 and 5, pretty much doing what they wanted down the entire field, and then the touchdown there by Hazelton on the fade.
Jordan Stout booted away for the Hokies, and it will be deep in the end zone and down there. Well, here comes DeAndre Francois. Had that serious knee injury in the opener a year ago, and it changed the whole season for them.
Yeah, I mean, it was a different team once he went down, and he ends up winning the job. He's going to have to be in command of this new up-tempo scheme. And the leadership and guidance for all this Florida State skill. You're going to see a lot of new names, some new faces, some familiar, but some guys that haven't played a lot of football, and they need the leadership and guidance tonight of Francois.
They'll expect to have a power running game using a rotation of really talented backs. They've got 5 good ones. Cam Akers, number 3, gets the start. And he gets the football. Well, they got to move big Ricky Walker, the guy that you highlighted in the open, out of the middle there.
Yeah, he didn't get a lot of attention with Tim Settle in there last year, but if you really watch the film and watch him play, because of the quickness and the power, and I thought Bud Foster put it pretty good with us. He said he's just a pro. I mean, he is a man who comes every day ready to work. Really represents that lunch pail.
Check this formation. Bunch to the right. Akers out of the backfield makes the catch, but the Hokies were not full. And flying in there was Khalil Ladler, one of those new sophomore linebackers.
Yeah, Ladler didn't wait. He saw the formation. He anticipated they're probably going to get the ball out quickly. He didn't even read it. He just took off. I mean, he just immediately, see him come into your picture there. He didn't even wait for the ball to be in the air, and he was already gone, taken off. I'm sure Florida State will try to come back on a pump and go on that same look.
3rd and 11. The 3 starting backers, 4 combined career tackles coming in. Can you say inexperienced? Francois in the pocket, has protection, delivers a dart across the middle of Keith Gavin, and he's out near midfield, and you can see Francois' arm skills.
Not only his arm skills, but keep in mind he's coming off of an injury. Watch him stand in there as big Ricky Walker closes in on him. He keeps his vision downfield, and here comes this new tempo, up-tempo from Florida State.
Naquan Murray on the end around, lost the football, and the Hokies have it. A takeaway as Ladler made the recovery. A disastrous play ends the Noles' first series. So now Jackson set up at the 35 as the Hokies tried to add to this lead and really quiet the crowd.
See if Josh Jackson goes for a big one here.
Throws a dart across the middle. It was a high throw. Tried to get the ball to Eric Kuma, the junior who's needed for a big role this year.
Kuma's a big body, 6'2", 225 pounds. I feel that that's the biggest difference from looking at this team and preparing for this game compared to last year when we called their game against Clemson in Blacksburg. Last year they had Cam Phillips and a young freshman and Sean Savoy. That was about it. Now they've got about 6 or 7 guys out at wide receiver they feel pretty good about.
McLeese has room. Deshaun McLeese barrels down inside the 15, and the Hokies are doing whatever they want right now.
They sealed this nicely with Kyle Chung right here. A little block to the inside, block out here, and you shoot right between the guard and the tackle. Good vision, picks up another block by the tight end, Cunningham, and then there's nobody left. He's off to the races.
2 big runs from McLeese, who's got 60 yards on 4 carries.
You get out into space against the defense that's playing man, and they're covering their wide receivers with their back to the football, and there's no one left there to make the play.
Jackson fires. High throw off the hands, incomplete. Grimsley was there. Throw a little bit off target. This feels important already. We've talked about the Noles as the rain begins to fall, not reacting well to adversity last season. Tiger working so hard to try to fix that, but this is the kind of adversity that'll test him in the first quarter of the season.
No doubt, test anybody. You got a new coach, new regime, need leadership. Backbone, again, they're in that red zone. They scored last time.
Play action, across the middle, high again over the fingertips of Grimsley. It's tough to throw and catch as this rain, which has been plaguing this area today, is back all of a sudden.
And that time Harlan Barnett decided to bring pressure, brought the true freshman, Jaden Woodby, say that he has the it factor for a young freshman. Came in early, rolled early, and they feel that he knows the defense, even though he's a true freshman as well as anybody on this defense.
First time they've faced 3rd down tonight. Jackson looping one for the end zone. Another jump ball. Incomplete. Out of bounds was Hazelton. And the Hokies are stopped. Myers in coverage. Here comes a field goal.
Hazelton just lost kind of where he was. His momentum as he went into the air took him out of bounds. The ball was actually thrown inbounds, but his momentum into the air, he tries to get the right foot down. I think he just kind of lost his GPS there a little bit.
Progressive Violent Cam shows that his toe didn't miss the field of play by much there. So Brian Johnson takes over for Joey Sly, knocks it through from 29 yards. Almost consider that a win for the Noles defense as the Hokies create a fumble and cash it in for 3. Man, they're having a good time. Nobody's having more fun than Beamer and Bowden, number 6 and number 2 in the all-time FBS wins list.
By the way, they both look outstanding.
Yeah,
I mean, great. Retirement is treating him well.
Bobby was in the locker room. You had Peter Warwick, Marvin Shade Tree Jones, Derek Brooks, whose son DeKalen plays for the Noles. So he was enjoying seeing a lot of his former players before the game. Tyler to boot it off. And this is going to be dropped by Kalen LeBourne, the talented freshman. Look forward to seeing him make an impact as a returner or a runner tonight. So minute 7 to go. The Glitter guys, the Glitter girls in years past here. Want to see something from this offense that was billed as lethal simplicity, but look at the trend.
Well, last season versus Power 5 opponents, it's 10 games. First quarter, for 10 games, they got off to slow starts. Only 34 points. That is 58 out of 65 last year, the Power 5 teams.
Catch made, and here is the talented freshman, Kalen LeBourne, getting free. He's got tremendous speed. Kalen LeBourne to run. You can see the talent of this 5-star kid from Virginia. Living up to the hype.
Chris, you got to love he is a running back, but has versatility to line up as a wide receiver. They line him out there, just get him the ball in space and let him make people miss. It's exactly what he does there to pick up big yards.
You got 37. Now he's in the game as Akers takes a direct snap, and the running back is dropped right there. Big play by Trevon Hill. Hill, a guy that they weren't sure if he was going to be available, didn't expect him to be, but he cleared up an academic issue, didn't start. Not sure how many snaps he can go, but he is a playmaker when in there.
Well, when Hill is in there, Gaines on the other side as a defensive end, Walker in the middle, gives him a very formidable front four.
Francois, last play of the first quarter maybe, delivers a dart. Gavin, free, down inside the 25. And the Noles are threatening to cut into this 10-point lead as we come to the end of the first quarter. Doug Campbell has come to life. Hokies did a good job silencing them with 2 early scoring drives. You're watching college football on ESPN, presented by Capital One. Noles have moved it quickly, 56 yards in 3 plays. And he is met immediately in the backfield. Swarming in there was Ricky Walker. He's so tough to block in the middle.
He just shot a gap here. The right guard was pulling, and boy, Ricky Walker usually wears number 8, tonight wearing 25. He gets upfield in a hurry. You better be careful pulling a guard against this Virginia Tech defense with 25 on the other side.
It's an honor to wear that number for Tech. I like him better at 8. I like that single-digit tackle in there.
He's lean, though. He's not a...
After the 5-yard loss, a second down handoff, and you see that this Willie Taggart offense is run heavy. It's a spread, but they like to pound the ball in the middle. Haven't had a whole lot of success. Francois throwing it early, Kirk, 8 for 9 for 98 yards.
Yeah, I mean, we knew 2 years ago the arm strength that he had, and you talked to him tonight during a break about, boy, what incredible velocity are on these throws. And I was talking about his core and his lower body have such strength, and for quarterbacks, they generate so much power, like a pitcher in baseball generates power from their core and lower body.
On 3rd and long, Francois from the pocket, throws to the end zone, juggling catch, touchdown. No, it's incomplete. Gavin thought he had it as he hit the ground. The ball came out. Another one of those quick throws.
Quick release, great accuracy, and then he throws with anticipation. Watch how he leads him in there, right into the teeth of that defense. Ball is perfectly thrown, clearly incomplete, but he couldn't have thrown the ball any better.
He juggled it, had a chance to catch it on the rebound, but the ball clearly came out. Ricky Aguayo, reliable kicker from inside 40. Lines up for a field goal of 32. Finished last year making 18 of his last 19. And it's right over top the upright, but no good. Missed it off to the left, and the Noles failed to cash in after a 64-yard drive.
They go 8 plays, 64 yards, convert a few 3rd downs, drop a touchdown pass. You're thinking that wasn't a great hold. They're thinking they're at the very least they're going to get a shot to get 3 points, and then he ends up hooking it.
There's a hat cam on 2 officials tonight. The entire ball has to be inside the inside part of that upright as it goes over top. That really wasn't that close, but you make a good point. Gavin had 2 chances to catch a touchdown, couldn't get it done, and now they come up empty.
Yeah, the hold wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. The laces need to be turned completely.
Put that on the kicker. Mike Black here, our spotter and a former Boise State kicker, said you gotta put that on the kicker.
Hey, he's on the holder to me. Give me the hold sign.
Jackson escapes and is going to be knocked down for a short loss. Brian Burns flew up there with A.J. Westbrook, the safety, helping out.
Not only a great job of getting pressure from the outside, but a good job getting pressure from the middle with Christmas and Wilson. Jackson tries to step up, but he ran right into 21 Wilson, and then the rest of that defense eventually got to Josh Jackson.
McLeese on a handoff in a very short game, just across the 20. Third and very long. D-Jack and Tavius Jackson made the stop.
Just trying to get more of a manageable third down. Florida State rotating people on and off the field, trying to get their nickel and dime package in there to get more speed on the field. Burns right here.
They barely get lined up. Don't see a lot of teams run tempo in third and long, but the Hokies tried to do it, and Jackson delivers a low throw, incomplete. Would have been short of the first down anyway. Good job by Kyle Myers defending.
Incredible how one mistake by Grimsley can affect an entire drive. That was a first down call, play action. That concept was a bootleg levels route. They pick up nice, valuable yards. Crowds out of the game. Would have set up probably a decent drive. Instead, penalty sets them back. Now they're playing behind, and Florida State, to their credit, gets them off the field.
Yeah, brain cramp by the wide receiver. Bradburn. That's a good punt. Mixed it up and drives the returner back. 49 yards on the punt. Noles still looking for their first points. Good to see that Ricky Walker is back in the game. They checked that knee out. He is good to go in the middle.
That's huge.
Jaquez Patrick is the back. He's got it. They are trying to get wide. He cuts it back and plows forward. They cannot easily find the edge of this defense.
Well, there's 8 guys up in the line of scrimmage, and they're getting penetration. That time 55 did a good job of getting up in there. Hewitt, undersized nose guard, lines up next to Ricky Walker. He just shot right through.
Instead of getting 3, Patrick fed again. It'll be third down. Maria?
Guys, DeAndre Francois has really been trying to rally this entire team on the sideline. He went over to the defense and said, play loose just like you do in practice. He talked to Keith Gavin after that touchdown drop and said, you got it next time. Spent some time with Willie Taggart as well, who's empowered him as a leader and told his offense, we're done making mistakes.
Need 3 and off and running. Patrick in the secondary. They finally test the middle with success against this defense. First time.
Patrick with some room to run. Use that formation to get the defense out wide as they can. In fact, Rivers had to move out there where the receivers were all the way to the boundary. It gave him just enough room to cut underneath that to pick up the first down.
Francois from the pocket delivers a throw downfield into traffic, a collision, and no flag. DJ Matthews ran into the DB, but no foul.
They lined him up in the backfield. He's a wide receiver, but they looked for a matchup on a wheel route. Try to get him to run against the linebacker. The only problem is Diablo comes over the safety. So he got behind 44. Rivers. The Progressive Pyland Cam took a shot. Hopefully it's okay.
We're fixing it right now. Right down there.
That's it.
Technicians on the job. Patrick in the game on 2nd and 10. 4 receiver set. They look far side, trying to get some blocks for Nooney Murray. Cuts it back in. Nooney spinning free. Naquan Murray headed for the end zone. And they'll spot him down at the 1. Watch the ball as the knee hits right. Well, his hip, he actually landed on a defender. I don't think he ever was down.
No, they need to stop that. That's a touchdown.
The Noles are lined up. They could get him to stop it if they didn't play fast. And now they misfire. Are you kidding me?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness. The ACC crew.
69. 5-yard penalty.
I mean, they were slow to buzz down and stop that to take a look at it. The Noles should have been a little patient. They could have gotten a touchdown on that Murray play. Now they're going to be outside the 5-yard line.
Now, sometimes you see offenses go fast if they think that they might have fumbled the ball or had a problem. They tend to go fast. But in this case, they should have taken their time there. Allowed the crew to make sure that they saw it. But it looked to me and you that he came down on the defender and ended up breaking the plane for a touchdown.
That could end up being huge. If they can't punch it in here on the end around, Mooney another chance and stopped right there. Well, Dave Kataya, our rules experts in the booth, this was never reviewed, Dave, but what do you think of this play?
It needed to be reviewed for two reasons. One, as you guys stated, he looked like he was on a body of an opponent, not on the ground. So anything other than a hand or foot that goes down on the ground. Now right there, he looks like he's on an opponent.
And his backside is on top of the defender. I thought maybe his shin might have come down, but nothing touched.
It's very, very close. Point is, you've got to take a look at this.
Empty backfield, 5 receivers for Francois to choose from. And now Patrick motions back in. They fake it to him. It's a quarterback run. Francois, all he can do to escape to get back to the line of scrimmage. Reggie Floyd stopped him. It's 3rd down.
We've talked about Ricky Walker all night, but I'm telling you, Jared Hewitt, the sophomore out of Florida, he's from Venice. He's in the backfield in the blink of an eye tonight. The 2 inside guys are holding their own and winning. It's making it very hard to do anything when it comes to running the football because of that penetration.
Now we'll see if that lack of review costs the Seminoles points. Francois asking for quiet. Play action. Francois trying to buy time. To the edge. Cuts it back. Still looking. High throw over everybody's head. Terry from the corner pressured. And the Noles are stopped. And here comes another field goal attempt. And that
Virginia
failure to review does cost them points.
Cost them the touchdown. They rush 3, drop 8, and Francois has nowhere to go. See the push that they get. He tries to get to the left, but look at the receivers. I mean, look at the coverage. Look at all the white jerseys in the end zone. He has nowhere to go with the football. So instead of blitzing and coming after him, they go the opposite and sink 8 in coverage.
Aguayo missed just left from 32, has this from 22 on the right hash, and knocks it through. So Florida State on the board after a 65-yard drive, but should have been in the end zone. Midway 2nd quarter, Florida State with a field goal, but if they hadn't been in such a hurry to line up with tempo from the 1-yard line, or if Jack Kramer, the replay official for the ACC, had buzzed down, we think Nyquan Murray would have had a touchdown. As it was, they get down there, got discombobulated, playing fast, got a false start, and never did find the end zone.
Yeah, but Dave made a really good point that I wasn't aware of. After the false start, the booth upstairs had that much more time to be able to really go back and evaluate whether or not that was a play that they should have stopped. Florida State gets an assist for the urgency to get to the line of scrimmage and snap the ball so quickly, but that was a missed call and a missed opportunity for 4 more points for Florida State.
Deep kickoff by Tyler, and Farley will leave it there. But Jackson flips it over the middle, and the catch is made by Phil Patterson, who's still loose out near the 40.
See Josh Jackson in rhythm. Gets the ball back, makes the read. Linebacker goes out on the running back. It clears a nice, easy passing lane for him and relies on Patterson to work to the inside of that corner, which he was able to do. He got open and away from Kyle Myers.
McLeese and the tight end Cunningham in the backfield, but the Noles swarm. Flying in there was Janarius Robinson off the edge, a tackle for loss.
Janarius Robinson has been playing a lot for a month. Watch him right here shoot. Between he and Burns on the other side, that guard's trying to come around to pick him up fast. But because they were blitzing and getting upfield, that's another indication for Florida State fans the difference between the system last year and what you're going to see this year. A lot more upfield.
So it's 2nd and 8. Jackson with the football, delivers over the middle in traffic, and it was through the hands of a Florida State defender near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it was a nice job of deflecting that. Corey Durden, 16, is a freshman out of Newberry, Florida. He's coming around the right side of the offensive line, and he can't get to the quarterback, so he gets his left hand up. Give him credit there for knocking that ball away. He had an open receiver. If he doesn't knock that away, that's a completion.
After a very hot start, Jackson has cooled off some. Needs 8 on 3rd down. Noles crowding that line, showing pressure. Well, 8 defenders on the line of scrimmage. Jackson from the pocket across the middle. Catch is made. Did he get the first down, though? Phil Patterson had yardage, sort of retreated, and they're going to spot it, I think, just short, Kirk, out near midfield.
He's right at that line. That's on the receiver to make sure he's running that route on 3rd and 8. He's got to get just beyond the line of scrimmage or get beyond that first down marker, and then the ball will be able to be caught and you can be tackled and pushed back and have a first down. See how he crosses? He's trying, he comes back to the ball. By the time he caught it, he was right at the line or just a little bit behind it.
Good job by Kyle Myers. Fuente not in a gambling mood near midfield. And Bradburn hoops it up very high. And Matthews makes the fair catch inside the 10. Francois has been sharp tonight. Cam Akers, the running back, is to the right side of the formation. 3 receivers to the left. Akins motions back in and has the football. Slips as he cuts, and a hard hit delivered there. Bryce Watts came off the corner.
These Virginia Tech defensive backs, these corners especially, known for their ability to try to cover, but Bud Foster demands that they get involved and be very good in run support, kind of hold that edge, and that's what Watts did, the sophomore.
I think Robert Porcher, the 4th, came in there to clean it up. Francois pressured and sacked back at the 2-yard line. That's Trevon Hill again invading the backfield. And now a flag is down. And the Hokies get upset. Now they're signaling that it's on Florida State. We'll see. Trevon Hill, who was a question mark coming in, has been an exclamation point.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense, number 69. Penalties half the distance to the goal line. Yeah. 3rd down.
Well, after
offense.
Well, after the play, the right tackle, Landon Dickerson. Look how quick these guys are getting into progressive pylon cam. Hill again, just too quick for Williams. Watch him get around. He's getting to his point, getting the bend. The bend is what's really unique with that quickness to be able to get around Williams. They're going to have to start chipping to try to slow him down on that left side. But Dickerson pushed Virginia Tech player DeBose well after the whistle and got the penalty.
What he got on 3rd and 18 from the 1. They'll throw. You get it out to McKitty, and the tight end at least gives the punter some room as he gets out near the 15.
It's hard to call plays when you're getting whipped at the line of scrimmage. It's just, I mean, it's one, you can try to get the ball out with the run pass option, try to get it out to the perimeter, get the ball out quick, but to be able to be consistently able to move the ball against a Bud Foster defense, you've got to do a better job at the line of scrimmage.
Greg Stroman was a terrific punt returner. It's blocked. Beamer ball strikes again, and the Hokies score off the block punt. Chris Cunningham came in to block it, and Eric Kuma, one of the receivers, said thank you very much.
Well, they stressed this week, week 1, how important special teams will be. They always are for Virginia Tech. But look at that jailbreak. There are guys getting through there. Cunningham, the tight end, gets in, gets a hand on it. Ball goes straight up into the air. And the wide receiver, the junior Kuma, is able to catch it in the air and walk into the end zone.
And the man who set the tone for decades of excellent special teams play, Frank Beamer, watching. Will always be called Beamer ball when the special teams of the Hokies make a play. That was an enormous one as Tech stretches the lead to 2 touchdowns with halftime approaching.
When's the last time you saw a tight end block a punt?
Hokie special teams having a little fun over there as they take the block punt made by a tight end, collected by a receiver, and they have taken command here late second quarter. And that's a deep boot and a touchback. Need about 35 yards to give Ricky Aguayo a reasonable chance at a field goal. Francois with the big arm can certainly launch the ball downfield in a hurry. Steps up, pursued, and will just dive down at the 30. So now with the clock ticking down, you figure the Noles have to spend their final timeout. Not what they were looking for in the first play. Actually, they haven't yet called a timeout.
No, they haven't.
And the clock is ticking down, 16-15.
Trying to get the ball to Nooney Murray down the middle of the field.
You know, the throw bounces. That was a play with 8 seconds to go. They probably should have just spent a timeout. Actually, you wonder if maybe Francois should have just thrown it away. Getting tackled in the field of play really killed the chance.
Well, now you probably just want to run the ball, and the only problem is Virginia Tech may call a timeout, and after blocking one punt, may try to come after
Good point.
another one.
Yeah, you'd love to try to throw a Hail Mary down there, but you're right. If you don't use all 8 seconds, you would have to punt. You go far side. This is Nooney Murray. He's got some space, but he has got no more time, and he'll be tackled as the first half ends. Virginia Tech, new faces playing big on defense. Scored in their first 2 possessions, and then the block punt for a touchdown, a review that didn't happen as the Noles tempo cost them a chance to perhaps get in the end zone. Had to settle for 3 in that possession. So even though there's a healthy yardage edge for the Seminoles, they find themselves down by 2 touchdowns. Maria?
All right, Coach, we saw some mistakes in the first half. How do you help this team gain composure coming out into the second?
Well, we just got to get ourselves together. Like you say, it's too many mistakes, too many turnovers and penalties that's killing ourselves right now. We just got to calm down and regroup and go out there and execute the plays.
You get the ball back when you come out for the second half. What do you want to improve upon on offense?
Well, I want our guys to execute. You know, it's too many minimal mistakes, too many things we're doing ourselves. We got to go out and execute the way we know how.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
6 penalties. Those 2 turnovers, the missed field goal and the miscue by the punt team. Noles will get it to start the second half. 17-3 halftime score. Halftime report with Adnan, Joey, and Jesse coming up right after these messages. Hokies with a lot of new faces come on the road. They run 7 fewer plays, gain 66 fewer yards, but they are +2 in turnovers and have the block punt for a touchdown. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, and Maria Taylor. So if you're Willie Taggart, your offense has moved the ball but hasn't cashed in, hasn't run it at all. What's the plan for the second half? They'll get it here soon.
Yeah, they get the ball, and I think you got to go back to DeAndre Francois with some of those vertical seams, some of the crossing routes downfield. That's where Florida State seemed to be able to move the ball the best. Their running game, if they can go back to trying to kind of mix it in, but they can't get east and west against the speed of this defense. They've got to try to get upfield to have any chance at all. But this is such a big drive to just, after the adjustments made at halftime, get themselves to believe that they can put points on the board.
Maybe a few more touches for this guy who doesn't take the kickoff back. Kalen LeBourne gained 37 in the first half with his first offensive play. Maria.
Hey, Chris, Justin Fuente coming out of the locker room said that his biggest focus was making sure the youth and inexperience on his team understands they still have to finish. He said they're excited and they're playing well, but he wants them to stay composed. Defensively, what he likes that he's seeing is they're getting a lot of pressure on DeAndre Francois in this offense and also handling the athletes on the perimeter. He said we have to continue to handle their tempo and athletes.
Maria, it's good stuff. It's been impressive. You think that Mook Reynolds dismissed from the team. A senior would have been a key guy in this defense. Adonis Alexander, supplemental draft. The 2 Edmonds brothers, first rounders. And all these new faces for the Hokies are swarming and making a big play for a loss is Divine Diablo, the safety.
Yeah, that's a typical Bud Foster move to get the safeties up. Diablo is a free safety, long, very athletic. It's their 9th tackle for a loss tonight.
Wow.
And they've been able to get tackles for a loss without bringing their safeties down inside, close to the line of scrimmage, into that boxed area.
It's figured to be one of Foster's most challenging seasons in his 24th as the DC, but off to an excellent start tonight. More work to do, though. A second down, long throw by Francois. off the hands of Nooney.
I guess on paper you could say a challenging year for Bud Foster, but if you look at having, especially in the interior, Ricky Walker back, I think that's a starting point because of his leadership, the way he shows up every day and sets the bar for work ethic. But a lot of these young guys, I think, are as good, if not better, than the athletes they've had on the field the last couple of years. It's just a matter of them picking up this system and creating some confidence, which I'm sure they did there in that first half.
Both Walker and Reggie Floyd, who collided, went off the field. They're in the game now. Noles need 15 on third down. Francois delivers. Bobble catch by Murray in heavy traffic. Did collect it, but knocked down 5 yards short of the first down, and it's a 3 and out.
Yeah, he got hit again as he threw that. DeAndre Francois on the left side, he's getting so much pressure with Williams.
Limping off his Landon Dickerson, Kirk, the tackle.
Yeah, Williams matched up against Hill is a no contest. They're going to have to chip, and you're right, Dickerson limping off. He was able to get off the field.
It's an offensive line known as better run blockers than pass blockers. They have not lived up to that tonight. Tyler boots it and effectively keeps it away from C.J. Carroll. There's a collision down there as the ball rolled out of bounds. No flag. Needs a play on defense as the Hokies take over from the 40, the plus 40. Jalen Holston, haven't seen him carry the ball yet tonight, and he's got it, and the Noles stack him up for no gain.
Virginia Tech starting here in plus territory, a real opportunity. I guess you could say a knockout punch, but it's a real opportunity with the way their defense is playing to really separate themselves from Florida State and affect the psyche of the Noles.
Jackson play action, swarmed and sacked back near midfield. Corey Durden is a backup tackle, got him.
We're used to talking to you about Burns, but Durden's in here. And it's second time now he's been able to just get around with quickness. You know, his background, he's nimble enough to be moved inside or outside, but keep talking a lot about Florida State's offensive line struggling with some quickness from Virginia Tech. And we've also seen Burns have some success and Durden as well, getting in there, getting after Josh Jackson.
And he was quick for 290.
Yeah.
So now it's another third and a mile. They need 18. Big theme all night. A handoff. Olsen, they can tackle. It's a hard run, but they get back to the original line of scrimmage, and it'll be fourth down. So you figure that Bradburn will try to pin the Noles back deep again. Special teams have been strong for Tech, and his punts have been a big part of it.
Noles got to be really careful there with almost a penalty there with a swing by a Florida State player after the play.
Some still jawing going on
back and forth. Justin Fuente fired up with a couple of those Virginia Tech players trying to get them off the field.
Bradburn kicks it very high, drops the tip, and in traffic they make a fair catch out at the 12-yard line. So Florida State's defense does its job. The offense not yet on track tonight. Noles once again poor field position after the punt. Akers is the back. And Francois on first down, pressured, and it's going to be dropped. It's another tackle for loss. Caleb Farley came off the edge.
They mixed up their look there. Caught Florida State napping. Even surprised DeAndre Francois, where they bring the corner on the other side and they drop the near side defensive end. He has no idea that Farley, the fastest guy on this team, is coming in from behind and eventually gets to him.
Had the pick earlier. Big night for the freshman in his first game. And they try to get Akers loose, and he's going to lose another yard. Trevon Hill made the play.
I really like, again, this defense. There are a lot of new faces. Bud Foster rotating bodies. We've seen 5 defensive ends. Taiwan Garbett is in right now, number 45. Jared Hewitt is a future star in the middle of this defense next to Ricky Walker. Ricky Walker gets some double teams. It frees up 55 to make plays. Hill is, of course, making plays. Gaines. It's a really good-looking front for Virginia Tech.
Akers limped off. Patrick in the game. On 3rd down and 12. Francois gets a 3-man rush. Is still going to be knocked down. Tripped over an offensive lineman. And is a little slow in getting up. Boy, if they're going to get pressure with 3, if they're going to squeeze the pocket with 3, you got no chance.
He's been mixing that in, and it's worked. Why change it up? The last time they had him in 3rd down and long, they rushed 3. They're getting enough pressure to make him uneasy, but he falls right over top of the right tackle, Dickerson, as you said, Chris. But rushing 3, dropping 8 in zone. There's 4 guys out running routes, and you're going to be able to shut that down. He's just holding on to the ball.
Tyler boots it to Carroll. Boy, he's going to make the catch at the 37 of the Noles. Makes a cut. Still on his feet and spun down. And the offensive possession for Tech will start in the red zone.
Willie Taggart's raising his hands because I think he thought that his punter was rough. Logan Tyler. Take a peek at this. That was the instant reaction.
And Tyler had one blocked earlier and contact was made. There's a little contact there. Would have been of the 5-yard variety, you'd have to believe, even if they had thrown a flag.
Yeah,
Willen,
I think that's a little bit more active.
The second time he's made contact with the punter. He's the guy that bumped him on the block by Cunningham. 16-yard punt return. Another challenge for this Noles defense.
Well, they've kept him in the game with some stops.
If they get a stop here, it'd be nearly miraculous. Peoples is the back, rolls out. They fling far side, and receiver Grimsley is open, and he's got a 1st down or close to it inside the 10.
Now against man, that's a really good route. 2 guys on the outside to 3 receiver side, go downfield. The inside guy just goes to the boundary. Easy read, easy throw, and tough to cover for that inside guy in man coverage.
It's just short of a 1st down, so 2nd and 1.
Remember, Hazelton at the bottom with his size advantage against Taylor has been a matchup they've liked, where he puts it straight up in the air.
Instead, it's a keeper for Jackson as the Noles ignore the window dressing and stop him for a loss. It'll be 3rd and 3 now.
Good job of getting off those blocks and getting penetration. Adonis Thomas, the junior linebacker out of Atlanta.
You hold them to a field goal here. It's still just a 17-point game. That would be a huge win for this defense. This is Wheatley motioning back. Handoff straight ahead, and they muscle forward. Peoples very close to the marker at the 9. Fuente fired up as he takes the headset off to deliver some kind of message. It is a 1st down.
Sending a message to one of the officials. Virginia Tech not in a hurry. Again, I keep talking about how Hazelton at 6'2", who can go up in the air and make plays, is matched up down there at the bottom against Taylor. Nice to see how they keep mixing in McLeese and Peoples. Keep them both fresh.
Run all the way, Jackson. Hammered at the 5-yard line.
Now they'll run him just enough to make you have to respect it and know that it's to be aware that he's a threat to run the football. A running quarterback affects the defense. You have to have your eyes and be aware. A lot of quarterbacks aren't threats. It makes it easier to defend. You don't have to count for him as a number or count your numbers as defensive in that box area. But if you know he's a threat, it can affect you and affect the coverage you have to play in.
He ran for a lot of 1st downs in big moments last year. Ran for 324 his freshman season. Play action. Luke throw to the end zone. Jump ball. Touchdown. Flag comes in. Kuma caught it, but he also shoved before he made the catch. Myers is knocked backwards.
Pass interference. Offense. Number 83. 15-yard penalty. Second down.
That was one of your more obvious offensive pass interference calls.
Yeah,
Kuma just muscled the little guy.
6'2", 225, and just throws Myers at 175 pounds. I think 3 flags came in on that one. Dave Kataya threw one from up here.
Yeah, that's a significant weight advantage there. 225 versus 175. It's 50 pounds by my math.
It's the hat cam. This is the guy, one of the guys who threw the flag.
He made that look easy, that shove.
Yeah.
So touchdown taken off, ball spotted back at the 20, where it's 2nd and goal. Hat cam. The official got that one.
Look at sweet.
Jackson has a clean pocket for a while and fires underneath. And the catch is made by Kuma. Back at the 11-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal from there.
No pass rush at all there. Nobody gets close to him. I mean, he was sitting back there in that pocket. Looks left, comes back right, go backs to the middle. Eventually comes back. He looked at 3 different receivers until he finally made up his mind. And look at the fatigue. These guys have been asked to do a lot. They've been put in their own territory the last 2 or 3 drives and kept Virginia Tech out of the end zone. Now it's catching up to them. You see the fatigue with their hands on the hips.
And they make one more play, force a field goal attempt. Clock winding down. 3-2. Jackson snaps it, taking off his Peoples, and he's going to be knocked down right near the goal line. No touchdown signal. And this would make it 4th down.
Well, he came close. He got a nice block there by Cunningham. Hazelton's blocking, but he's definitely short. Aggressive pylon cam. You can see about the half-yard line.
They're going to go for it, as you'd expect. Ball inside the 1. 2 tight end look. People still in there. Peoples has it. Tries to plow forward, still driving. And they are not signaling touchdown. DeMarcus Christmas made a huge play as the Noles goal line stand keeps this deficit from getting to 3 touchdowns.
Boy, how about DeMarcus Christmas, the veteran up front, does a good job of shooting through. To see him right there get into that backfield, even though Peoples is low and keeps his leg driving. It was DeMarcus Christmas that got there initially, and then the rest of the defense is able to rally to keep him short.
That's been true since the 1870s when football was invented. You're right. They retire Peter DeWark's number 9 tonight, the hero of that championship game win over the Hokies, as he joins Marvin Jones, Wenke, Terrell Buckley, Brooks. They could use a play of the variety that Peter O'Rourke used to make back in the day. -7 total yards offense in the 3rd quarter for Florida State. Akers breaks free. Cam Akers in the clear. Foot race. And they finally spin him down at the 5. The electric play the Noles needed.
Just about to say, as bad as this has been, it's 17-3. You're one big play away from being within a touchdown. The corner doesn't make the play, trying to hold the edge. Farley, and then it's a foot race.
Oh, boy. And after this run down to the 5-yard line, 84 yards on the run for Akers. They had 15 net rushing yards before that play. Got 4 plays to gain 6 yards. Can they avoid the negative plays that have plagued them so often?
2 big receivers with Gavin and Terry in the game. Out wide.
Akers got a breather, so he's to the right of Francois. They give it to him. The middle is clogged, and he gets a half-yard. That has not been there all night.
Now, you're not going to run the ball. The defensive line's winning up front. Linebackers are coming downhill.
Backup Emmanuel Belmar, as Foster's using lots of people tonight. They should be very fresh.
I think you got to try to find either Gavin, who's been around, an experienced guy at 6'3", Terry, the freshman, at 6'4". And maybe their best receiver is DJ Matthews, who's also out there at 29 up at the top.
Francois, play action. Throw in the flat, and the catch is made, but a tackle for loss. Trey McKitty stopped by Reggie Floyd, and it's going to get tougher. 3rd and goal back from the 10.
How good a job is this by Floyd? Matched up man-to-man. They're trying to create a pick, a wall for him to have to go through a lot of traffic as an inside receiver running to the outside, but he gets underneath that. Got underneath that, which was just good instincts, and he didn't hesitate at all. Great play there by 21 Floyd.
And a timeout is going to be taken. This is a crucial play for Florida State. You'd wonder how many yards do they have to get to think about going forward on 4th down.
They're going to have to go for it either way, no matter what happens here on 3rd down, in my opinion. Here's Floyd right here. He's going to match up right here, man-to-man. This is a big-time play. Sees it, gets away from the traffic that's out there, able to make that play out in space. That play had no chance.
It's been a nightmarish night for the Noles in the red zone. They've run 10 plays down here, -6 yards. Cam Akers, the running back, is lined up in the quarterback position, and they fumble the football. They try to wrinkle. It backfires disastrously, and Howshon Gaines has it for Virginia Tech. He tried to get the ball to Amir Rasul.
Well, he's actually reading this, Chris. This play was a disaster. Cam Akers, who hadn't been in all game, is reading this, not just design run, but the backside penetration from Ricky Walker would have blown this play up anyway. You're trying to read the front side to the left, but the penetration from the backside, even if he read it well and held on to the ball, you would have had a problem. Watch the backside get the penetration. See how slow developing it is? If Akers holds on to that ball, he's blown up anyway by Walker. But the hesitation, do I give it, do I pull it? Trick play backfires at a crucial moment in the game.
3rd turnover for the Seminoles. It was Akers' run that put him in position, but he tried to run it in and it didn't work. Francois and all those talented receivers, they did not take a shot at the end zone. You thought they needed to, they didn't, and it didn't work.
Yeah, how about, let's go back to this, because they kept Florida State out of the end. This is that big run by Akers. Look at the top of your screen. Bryce Watts, the sophomore, does not give up on the play. Looks like he's going to get into the end zone, but it's the hustle and not giving up on the backside, the team pursuit by the sophomore Watts that keeps Akers out of the end zone, and then they make the stop in the red zone.
Peoples hammers ahead. They move the sticks. Ladler, the linebacker, hustled too. Kirk, number 9. He slowed up Akers just a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was surprised. I mean, you go to that diamond formation or whatever, you got Akers taking a direct snap, and I understand trying to change things up, but 3rd down, man, hadn't been able to run the ball all night. Got to take a shot with Francois. It's probably your best chance to
They're
do
working
that.
through in practice. They're mocking the tomahawk chop over there in that Hokie sideline. In the practice yesterday, they were working with Akers, direct snap situation, so it was certainly in the game plan, but backfired awfully there. Now the Hokies will try to hammer away and bleed the clock. The lead is still 14. Peoples, that's a nice 5-yard first down gain.
Just wonder how much this defense has in them. They have been tested not only with field position, but they're constantly being thrown out there in tough positions. Now, of course, Virginia Tech's, in their own territory, but the defense deserves a lot of credit from Florida State to keep them in this game and keep them within reach. It's 17-3. This game could very easily be 27 or 30-3.
Get the feeling they're going to be working on the red zone offense here in Tallahassee in practice. It'd be hard to imagine a worse red zone night. Jackson rolls. He flips it up underneath the Cunningham. The tight end who's already had a monster night with a block punt makes a catch and rumbles into Seminole territory. Maria?
Well, Kirk, you're completely right. This defense, when they come over from the sideline, they just have nothing left in them. To start the game, you could see them. They were still excited, jumping around when they came off. Now they all just kind of sit down and talk through everything in execution. But everyone on the sideline is saying, listen, they've only had one big play. Stay focused. Keep playing for your offense right now.
Yeah, Maria, that is so tough to do. I mean, there's so many times you can only go to the well so many times emotionally. in a 60-minute game. I give these guys a lot of credit. There's still 7 minutes to go in this game.
Can he create a takeaway? Hokies have taken care of the football tonight, and it's Peoples running left. You can see if they can make gains like that on first down, it's going to be tough to get them off the field.
I think Justin Fuente deserves a lot of credit. Third year now in Blacksburg. He's got a sophomore quarterback in his second year. He's got some skill this year to work with. That's the first couple years he hasn't had a lot to work with. I think this year he's got more depth at receiver, better in the backfield. It's going to be a tough team as that defense grows up week after week.
They were not picked to win. Miami was the clear preseason favorite in the Coastal. Maybe I'll reconsider that
after the weekend. After the first week, you would.
Peoples running hard. Loses a yard. It'll be 3rd and short.
And I believe that game's in Blacksburg this year with Miami and Virginia Tech.
Yeah, the Hokies said we were at the Hard Rock when they came down to Miami last year. Getting ahead of ourselves, but this is a program that, as you suggested, I think correctly at the top, not really considered a serious contender. Many thought they might be 3rd in the division.
Well, again, if you look at it on paper, but got to be careful of underestimating Bud Foster and the defense, despite all the new faces on that side of the ball.
Jackson rolling out 3rd and 7 after the penalty, and it's a completion to Kuma. He's still running. Kuma breaks free against a tired defense as the Hokies deliver the dagger here in Tallahassee. "49 yards. Eric Kuma, big, strong receiver, as you suggested, Kurt. That Noles defense showed a lot of will, a lot of heart, but finally broke on that play.
He sure did. Great effort by Kuma. Watch the effort by his teammate Grimsley, 6. Watch here in the back right. Watch this effort on this block. Bang! Right there on Levante Taylor. He got called earlier for a personal foul because it was after the whistle. This time a clean hit and sending a message to Taylor and the Florida State tired defense.
Second touchdown for Kuma. He collected that block punt and kind of sauntered in from a few yards. This one he really has to work for. 1 missed tackle, 2, 3, 4. Great block. 21-point lead for Tech. And Justin Fuente had his team ready to go tonight. Came in here as road underdogs. All the hype, all the anticipation for the return of that man Francois and the arrival of Willie Taggart. His team was clicking from the outset. 10 points in their first 2 possessions. Special teams. Bud Foster's rugged defense. And the lead is 21. Kalen LeBourne, the electric freshman, spins free. Made one big play earlier on offense.
I loved something I saw as the teams were leaving at the half, and Virginia Tech had a 17-3 lead. This is before they ran off the field. He wanted to get everybody's attention and let them know it's a 60-minute game. I just love how he was preemptive there.
And there's a diving interception by Caleb Farley, his 2nd of the night. What a dream this guy is living after waiting all year to get back on the field and playing with his mom's memory in his heart tonight. Textbook. Close and make the pick. Farley, one of those new faces. I think Bud Foster had him ready tonight.
I think almost every player, every coach, every trainer has come over to give him some love.
Yeah, sure. I mean, they're brothers in the team. They know what tough times others have gone through. The Fleece hit behind the line, lost the football. Jackson alertly jumps on it. Hokies still without a turnover, but they had to recover a couple of their own fumbles.
How about the true freshman there coming up with a big hit? Jaden Woodby not giving up at all in this game. It may be 24-3, but the true freshman who has that it factor, not paying attention to that score, not giving up, out there playing his heart out.
He's from California. Early enrollee. You come in early and you study and you show the coaches you're ready to play. And that's kind of why guys do choose to give up a semester of their high school senior year. If this defense is only going to get better from here, it's going to be pretty fierce for everybody they face this year in that ACC.
We were talking at the break, and they lost some huge names off that defense, many of which are playing in the NFL now.
Tremaine and Terrell, both first-rounders.
Yeah, but this team just has a look about them. They look athletic. They're playing together. They're playing with some urgency. Boy, it's one game in, but it doesn't appear that they've taken a step back athletically, despite all those losses.
And we talked a lot about the changes that Taggart tried to make. He felt that after Francois got hurt in the opener, guys on both sides of the ball really began to feel like, oh shoot, our season is over, we can't reach our goals. They kind of checked out. This was a team that was 2-5 in October. At that point, that was the record. They ended up winning the last 4 games. It brought the ACC's longest win streak into this season. But Kirk, this is going to be a serious test beginning this week. How are these guys going to regroup and rebound? Francois completion. They've tried to get the ball to the edge so many times. It's McKitty, and they just haven't had anything going out there wide. There's the AP top 10. I think Alabama's going to probably stay #1. I would say.
Yeah, Clemson, Georgia.
Wisconsin looked good.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
Yeah, this is where will Washington drop? That'll be the big question in the polls.
Miami will drop pretty far.
You hear that?
Taken
the
over.
Tech fans have taken over Tallahassee. They're the only ones making noise in that far corner over there. Francois thought about chucking it downfield. Now just slides.
Smart.
After a very short gain. I don't know if they sold every ticket. There were some empty seats over there in the visitors section, but the ones who showed up here are still making plenty of noise. This is their first trip here in 10 years. They're going to win for the first time in Tallahassee since 1974. And is it going to be a pick? Yes. Ball is knocked up in the air, and Vinny Mahota made the play, and they're pumped for Vinny because he's the guy coming back from a torn ACL.
Nathan Proctor, the freshman, got the hand on it. How many times have we seen DeAndre Francois, who is a shorter quarterback, have the ball knocked down by a defensive lineman? Especially those defensive ends have had their hands active. Nice to see Mahota get a chance to come up with the interception. Defensive end, the defensive tackle, but the awareness once the ball was in the air to go up there and make that play.
Victory formation for the Hokies. 5 turnovers, 7 Florida State penalties. Some of them are very costly, and a blocked punt for a touchdown, and a missed field goal, and a red zone disaster.
Outside of that big play by Cam Akers, the big run, the offense was non-existent. Again, give Bud Foster's defense, that young defense, a lot of credit, and give Justin Fuente, the head coach, a lot of credit for getting his team ready to come in and open up the season with a big win in conference play.
Kuma's catch and run, the only points in the second half. And the Noles, after halftime, Kirk, 7 possessions, 4 punts, and then 3 turnovers in the last 3 possessions.
Just a dominating performance by Virginia Tech's defense. Controlled the game, controlled field position. And we said it, you kind of know what you're going to get with Josh Jackson in this offense. But the defense from Virginia Tech, they are going to be really nasty as the season progresses and they have more experience under their belt.
Meaningless stat of the night, the Noles actually outgained the Hokies, but it's Virginia Tech by 3 touchdowns. Maria?
All right, Coach, you said you wanted to see how this team, young as it is, was able to finish this game. What did you see from them throughout the second half?
Well, we battled. Obviously, there in the third quarter, we kept them pinned down. And I was worried that we let a couple too many opportunities get away, but we found a way to get it done. I'm proud of our kids.
You knew you were going to learn something about your team on both sides of the ball. What did they show you in their road game?
Well, the stage wasn't too big for them, which I'm proud of. I mean, they prepared, they understood that it's about playing the next play. Now, our challenge is in 5 days we got to play again. So I'm happy for them tonight, and then tomorrow we got to get back to work.
We saw Caleb Fairley go up and get 2 interceptions in this matchup. He's played wide receiver for you. He's gone as a DB, and he's made big plays. So what was it like seeing him have success?
Just so proud of him. You know, he's been through a lot. He got hurt in the first practice of the fall camp last year. And he has a great attitude and works incredibly hard. He loves his school and loves his football team, and I love watching him have success.
Congratulations, Coach.
You bet. Thank you.
That is the feel-good story. William and Mary in a short week. East Carolina, Old Dominion, at Duke. The Hokies' next conference game. They got Notre Dame coming to Lane Stadium on October the 6th. The way the Irish look, that shapes up as a pretty tasty collision. Francois and the Noles, a disappointing debut to the Taggart era, as the Hokies salute their fans going on the road with a 24-3 victory. Thanks to Bill Bonnell, Jeff Evers, our crew, and the entire group. Some of these folks worked, a lot of them worked 2 games in 3 days. Kirk, take a breather.
Yes, sir.
Marathon weekend is over. Those guys will be week 2, Clemson at A&M.
Have fun in New York.
I will.